Good evening, Odie Hawkins back again with a continued reading of the Ghetto Sketches 2021. I'm on chapter 10.
Covered by Tony Gleason, blurb in the back by Dr. Justin Gifford.
There you go.
And your website is www.odiehawkins.com.
Thank you for that information. Now, without further ado, let's go to chapter 10. The title of the chapter is The Day the Eagle Flies. Lucille Smith lies propped up in bed, sipping a large rum and coke, reading Ebony magazine, looking seductive as all get out in a flimsy, low-cut, hot pink nightgown. Fergie sits on the side of the bed, trimming his corns.
Okay.
Trimming his corns.
Oh, yeah.
An old ritual when you used to have people with bad feet.
Yes.
His bath towel wrapped a sabu style around his bulging middle. He turns from time to time to tweak Lucille's toes playfully. They are both in an obviously groovy state. Ferguson Smith, will you stop that? Now just stop. You're worse than a kid sometimes. You see me reading, and you know how ticklish I am. Fergie stops tweaking at her toes, reaches over awkwardly to the night table, and pours another drink with his glass into his glass from an almost empty fifth of rum.
They've had that bottle for a while.
Looks like they've been having a good time. Fergie, Lucille coos to him, why don't you put that light out and come to bed? That's the way you women are on a man's payday. Too bad the eagle don't fly every day. I'm glad you reminded me that you got paid today. I told Diane I was going shopping with her tomorrow. Fergie turns for a long, slow, hot look at the seductive pink nightgown. Swallows the last of his drink hurriedly. And scrambles into bed. Honey, you gonna turn off that light or leave it on? Fergie, smiling seductively, struggling to retain the towel around his waist, tippy-toes over to the wall switch, stubs his toe against the bedstead on his way back to the bed in the dark. Ow! Ooh, shit. What are you laughing about, woman? That hurt. I could have broke my toe or crippled myself for life. Oh, Fergie, come here. Poor baby, poor baby. Lucille holds her arms out to him as he climbs clumsily back into bed. They lie locked in each other's arms. Fergie, you know something? We ain't heard high in her hair that crazy man next door for one whole night. You think he might be dead or something? No, he ain't dead. He just keeping quiet like I told him to. They kiss, a long, lush, lingering kiss, and begin to make love, the intensity of their action ignoring momentarily the slurring, softly muted lyricism that begins to accentuate, fit the rhythm of their couple movements. Down the street, Sweet Peter Dita, waiting for Idella, later as usual, is confronted by Kwandi, Ojinkasi, and Abdul Abu. I got a bone to pick with you, Sweet Peter. Lay down, little blood, young blood. I got some business to take care of. The young brothers grab him by the collar and the armpits. Not tonight, Sweet Peter. You ain't got no business to take care of tonight. Hey, wait a minute, get your motherfucking hands off me. Kwandi pushes his piece into Sweet Peter's mouth. Say another word, you son of a bitch, just one more and I'll make you chew this up to the trigger, all of it. They pull Sweet Peter D from the fender of his hall, silently, efficiently. The horn and Lucille and Fergie both seem to rise to a crescendo. And then for a moment both blend. The lovely love action stops, but the music plays on, softly, tenderly, soaking Lucille and Fergie's sleep with the first jazz concerto for bassoon by Milford Hawkins. Mildred was his sister's name.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Played for the first time from beginning to end, minus full orchestra.
Mm.
And that brings us to the end of chapter 10, and off we go on to chapter 11.
Right.
And the title of this chapter is What's Going On?
Mm. Okay.
Bessie Mae Black steps out onto the front stoop, a brown laundry bag of dirty clothes clutched to her bosom, sighting around the barrel of the bag at the Saturday crowd, gathered on the steps already, determined not to let a minute of the day off go to waste. Spring heat and a breezeless day fill the street with an all-pervasive funkiness.
Mm-hmm.
Where you off to, daughter, with that sack of stuff in your chest? Oh, hi, Big Mama. I'm just going down to the laundromat. She sits the bag down and looks up and down the street, frowns across the street at Philistine Evans and the young dude everyone calls Chew Man. Chew Man has his arm around Philistine's back, feeling the edge of her breast with his fingertip on the QT.
Mm-hmm.
You'll be passing the store, won't you? Would you bring me a can of Garrett Snuff when you come back? Here's $1. If that Korean done gone up, don't get it. I'd rather do without. Them Koreans just charge us anything they wants to. Oh, what's happening with Fred Lee? Bessie fidgets with the drawstrings on the top of the laundry bag. Looks like he's gonna have to do some time, Big Mama. I didn't have any money to bail him out with, so that's really too bad. Boy done served his country on all the way he did. Seems like they ought to give him some kind of break for fighting them Vietnamese. Well, I'm gonna say some prayers for him.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Big Mama, that'll help. He needs all the help he can get. I'll bring a snuff back when I come. If you have to add a couple more pennies, go ahead and get it. Now I'll pay you when you get back. Lord have mercy. Things are so high these days.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't it the truth?
Mm-hmm.
Bessie replies and lifts the bag back onto her arm. Milford Hawkins shreds his way up the street, avoiding collisions by use of some kind of internal radar. Strolls past Big Mama and the group, his bassoon neatly swathed in a leather carrying case in the other hand, his ski cap slanted above a blissful smile.
Mm-hmm.
Mayflower prances by in the opposite direction, proudly swinging his purse, enjoying the attention given. Hi, Big Mama, he sings up past the snicklers on the stoop. Ain't it a beautiful day?
Mm-hmm.
For some folks it is, sure is pretty handbags you got there. Sherman and Chico Daddy look meanly at Mayflower. Their hate. We hate Sissy's look.
Mm-hmm.
I had to get that homophobic slur straight because that is important.
Okay.
I hear something else, Mayflower said, defiantly staring back at the two Afro lords. I was strolling through Mickham's the other day and spotted this, and I thought to myself, girl, that's just too.
Mm-hmm.
You just have got to get that. You just got to. So I bought it right there and then. Must have cost you a pretty penny. Big Mama comments with acid on her tongue. You can say that again, a pretty penny indeed. I'll bet it did. Sherman mumbles to Chico Daddy as they watch Mayflower switch away swinging his purse gaily. John 15X eases up to Bam and Baby June farther up the street on well-conditioned welterweight toes. How come your brothers ducked out on me Sunday? I thought y'all was serious about going up to the mosque with me. We were serious, man. Baby June mumbles between swollen lips as he strives to focus on John 15X with two black eyes. We were serious. We just had to get away from Kwandi and them other young fools. John 15X takes a long, compassionate look at the discolorations, swellings, and painful-looking cuts, adjusts his bow tie suavely. Don't look like you got too far away, brothers. Hey, don't rub it in, brother. I'm sick as I can be. Me too, man. I know what you two brothers are going through. Believe me, I know. Like I told y'all before, when I had a Jones, I sure enough had a Jones. John 15X stands straight, pencil thin, nourished on positive thoughts about himself, rapping to Bam and Baby June about the virtues of life in the nation.
I see a couple of...
Lucille and Ferguson Smith sit at their kitchen table, leisurely sipping their Saturday morning, ain't got to go to work coffee. Fergie? Huh? Fergie? Yeah, baby. Fergie, put your newspaper down a minute. What is it? Did you hear Milford playing last night? She asked, stirring more sugar into her coffee. Yeah, I heard him, sort of. That thing he blows didn't sound too bad, did it? Strange as it is, I mean, well, it sounded kind of nice in a way, don't you think? Might be because neither one of us had to get up to go to work this morning. Maybe. It doesn't matter anyway now. We won't be hearing him anymore, I don't think. What do you mean? What? I saw him walking down the street a little while ago with a bobtail suitcase and that bassoon. First time I ever seen him out in the daytime since he moved in. I guess Nolan was giving him notice. That figures, rent day is Monday. So I guess he is gone. He picked a good time. Oops, let me get out of here, Diane. I'll be waiting in front of the house, tapping her toe right now. Don't spend all my money. Our money, you mean? Don't worry. I'll see you later. You going out? Yeah, I might in a little while. Well, before you go, don't forget to fix that toilet. I'm getting tired of hearing that thing run all the time. All right. Don't forget now, Fergie. Okay, baby. Don't worry about it. But take care. I'll take care of you. Lucille leans over behind Fergie's already upraised newspaper and sticks a warm kiss to his lips.
Yes.
Fergie, I love you, honey. Fergie looks surprised and pleased as she hastily departs.
I bet.
Mama love me.
Sure do.
John 15X continues spieling, watching closely as Bam and Baby June lean against each other in pure misery, seek the mercy of some place to sit, rest, be sick. They wander around the corner into the alley as John 15X follows them persistently. Give us a try, brothers. What have you got to lose? A dirty, stinking, rotten life of crime and time, that's all. I'm telling you, I know what that blue-eyed devil has hooked you up on. I was there, deep in the heart of it all. I'm telling you, brothers, I was there, believe me. Bam, you remember when I was in that bag? Yeah, man, I remember. All right then, brothers, how about it? If I managed to do it messed up as I was, you can too. God damn, I'm sick. Shit, fucking crap. Come on, Joe, we got to go do something. They move away from John 15X, ashamed to look in his eyes as they accelerate to their familiar wolfish trot. John 15X stands watching them go, tears running down his cheeks. All right, everybody. Kwandi shouts above the buzzing of the people in the workshop. Let's have a little art about ourselves. Thank you. As you all can see, I've invited Brother Rudy, Brother Sherman, Brother Bobo, Brother Woods, and Chico Daddy. Hey, Kwandi, I'm a brother too. Sorry about that. And Brother Chico Daddy. Right on. Anyway, I've invited these brothers in line with our policy to hear our program. Maybe if they can dig where we're coming from, they might want to join our group. Each one of these brothers has been vouched and spoken for. So I'm not going to waste a lot of time shucking and driving. I think we've done enough of that already. Chario Mungu raises his fist to be recognized. I got one question. Why do we have to have this meeting on Saturday night? I was supposed to be going to the Kwandi cuts into him sharply. Can you think of a better time than Saturday night for niggas to get together to do something?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if we gave a few more of our Saturday nights, then it might be Sunday for a whole lot more sisters and brothers. Dig it? Mm-hmm. Right on. Kwandi looks around fiercely at the group. Abdul and Ojinkasi at his side, Lubertha behind him, studying the group with dancing eyes. We got together the other night for the information of all those who were not here at that time and drew up a list of things that we think need to be done in our community. Right now. Not tomorrow or next week or when somebody begs Whitey into doing it, but right now. The program ain't really been laid out completely yet, but we think we can make a good beginning by just working on these things as a start. You can change the order of things around as you see fit. I'm just going to read them as we come up with them. Kwandi opens up a notebook in front of him. Number 1, we want an end to the robbery that the merchants in our area practice every day, whether they be food merchants, clothes merchants, or whoever's selling us something rotten or that we don't need for too much. I bet Sweet Peter D won't be selling anything else when he gets out of the hospital, Abdul interjects. If he ever gets out, you mean, Johnny Fox reaffirms, slapping Abdul's hand. Rudy eases through the sudden hubbub with a question mark on his forehead. I heard about that, did you all? You damn right we did. Kwandi reaffirms vehemently. But we can talk about that later. Let me finish this first. Rudy looks away sourly. Number 2, we want decent housing, fit for the shelter of human beings. Number 3, we demand textbooks and courses in our school to be relevant to who we were, what we are, and what we might become if International Whitey ever starts acting like a human being. Number 4, bear with me now, I've only got 2 more to read. Number 4, we want an end to police cruelty and systematic murder of black people.
Wow.
That means, to put it another way, we do not need to be over-policed and under-protected by people who hate our guts to begin with.
Whew. Still relevant.
Rudy raises his fist urgently. Wait a minute, brother, wait a minute. Number 5, we want the people in our community, the black community, to be brought to trial and dealt with by a jury of our peers, if we have to be tried for anything at all. What you mean by peers? Chico Daddy asks innocently. Mm-hmm. Peers, man. Peers, Sherman tells him scornfully. People like us. People like people in this room. Oh, okay. I thought, okay, yeah, I can dig that. And number 6, but not last or least, we want freedom. Mm-hmm. We want the power to determine the destiny of our community, which means, Ojinkasi adds, that we want the white boy to stop trying to tell us what to do. Hey man, Bobo calls out, but you didn't say nothing about job. Me and my dad is out of work. Mm-hmm. We can put that in. Kwandi says, closing the notebook, we don't have a lot of things written out, but we know about them. Everybody knows about them. We can add these later. Well, what do you think, brothers, sisters? Have we got a beginning? Can y'all dig where we coming from? I can dig it. Rudy says, and I should maybe add some things, but how do you plan to go about doing all this? By whatever means necessary. Mm-hmm. Like beating heads? If you're talking about Sweet Peter Dita, Rudy, I'll say this to you. You don't see him out there on this corner kicking Lulu and Idella in the ass tonight, do you? Setting the worst kind of example for our young brothers, or pushing heroin off on our sisters and brothers. Yeah, man, I can dig that, but that ain't really getting to where all the shit is coming from. Sweet Peter Dita is backed by, we don't give a damn who he's backed by. If he brings his ass onto one of these corners, we'll off him too. Sweet Peter was just a start in the right direction. But if we ain't got the means to deal with whatever, we'll get the means, old Jinkasi calls out. That's just what I'm talking about. The methods I think you ought to plan to use. Violence breeds violence. Oh, man, they give me... You sure out of pocket, Rudy. Man. Kwandi holds up his hands to cool out further comment. No. I think you're wrong, brother. I really and truly do. I've thought about it for quite a while now, And I'm damn near certain that I'm living in a place where violence, especially black violence, can stop violence. The kind that they're killing us with every day of the week and twice on Sunday. What you got to realize, Rudy, is this one thing, that the people who rule this country, Whitey don't really understand but one thing, violence. That's his strength and his weakness. And if you don't go to that, you'll be running around trying to be white, begging, trying to fit in, do a whole bunch of things that don't really matter because the only thing Whitey understands is death and destruction. That's his heritage, dig it? The workshop is momentarily stricken with silence. Hey, I can dig the program, brother. What do I have to do to get in the group? You're already in it, Sherman. Lisa Miles assures him. You were born into it. Rudy looks around, disturbed at the vibrations aroused by Kwandi's answers. Dig, Rudy. You're a good brother and all, but it's time to go to some other places. We've argued with each other over a whole lot of stuff up and down the streets. And I have a lot of respect for your ideas, but like the sister said on the corner the other day, it's time to struggle. Are you with us? Lena Daniels walks hurriedly, apprehensively, up the back steps to Miss Rabbit's apartment, checking the shadowed spaces carefully. As she goes, a peach cobbler held out like an altar offering. Miss Rabbit, hip to the Saturday night drama, opens her back door cautiously. Well, now, Miss Daniels, what have you got here? Her eyes measure the deep aluminum-covered dish. It's a peach cobbler, and I hope you enjoy it, Miss Rabbit. Miss Rabbit politely takes the cobbler from Lena's hand, sits it on her checkered kitchen table, and slowly folds the foils back. I know I'm going to enjoy this, honey. Sure is a beautiful crust on it. And it's still piping hot. You want to stay and have a taste with me? No, thank you. I got to be getting back. Jim promised me he's going to take me downtown to the picture show tonight. How is Jim? Fine. Jim just fine.
I bet he is.
Jim just fine.
Hurry up and take those bones back to Miss Rabbit.
I heard that. Got them bones loose. Saturday night, fire, water, ice, revolution from necessity, patience worn out, and invasion. Deep Saturday night, a discussion and argument, the wound festering, decisions made by the decisive, an invasion, anything smelling of independence. Well, the fucking communists were supposed to be telling black people they should have human rights in the 60s, so what's new? Rapping Rudy, surrounded by fewer followers, leans into his favorite stance, a sad expression on his mug, a direct contrast to the brightness of this particular Sunday. Well, actually, in a sense, it don't really make too much sense to be running this whole thing down to you. Y'all know what happened last night. Pigs busted in, acting as usual, wild and crazy, messing with people, pulled all of us out. One of us started feeling around on Lubertha like he was searching for a weapon or something, and Kwandi went off. First time I'd ever seen him that way. Anyway, by the time all the shit got unscrambled, Kwandi had snatched that little bastard piece. What's his name? Jonesy. Yeah, that's the name. That's the one. Kwandi snatched his piece and burned him. Oh, wow. That's right. Smoked him. Right in the gut. When that happened, a whole bunch of shit started. Some other pigs showed up, and the whole thing got wilder still. Oshun, Kasi, Tucker, and Abdul started a house with the other pigs and gave Lubertha and Kwandi a chance to get away. It was a wild scene. We all did what we could. They cracked Nisa in the head. Sherman got shot in the hip trying to get away. And everybody else got carried off. Pigs talking about conspiracy or some shit. Whatever that's supposed to mean. What happened to you, man? One of the group asked him. Rudy opens his mouth to show 4 bottom teeth missing. You see, I'm here, don't you? And I'll say this right now. Kwandi was right. The only way to get the shit squared away here is to do it with sticks, knives, guns, any fucking thing you can get your hands on, because Whitey has no respect for anything but violence, with a capital V. What's going to happen to Lubertha and Kwandi? Well, better hope they get away to begin with. And now we're at chapter 12.
Wow.
And I'm going to leave it there because this is the last chapter.
All right.
And that'll be that.
Thank you very
Obviously, I've modeled some of what I'm saying on the Black Panthers program, which is how they started off.
But the book was written initially, you started writing
The book was, actually, you know, this book was actually, I started writing this in about 1964, something like that.
Okay, well,
It was finally published in 1972.
You had an agent at that time.
I had an agent. And
What was his name?
Stuart Robinson
Ah.
of Robinson Weintraub. Really fine agent. He got me a lot of things to do. It was published in 1972 by Holloway House, and Holloway House was a really crappy publishing company, but it was the only game in town, and they published, actually, if I mentioned before, I'll repeat it again, 17 books that I published over a 20-year period.
And they had black and white authors.
They had 99% of the writers were black, but they had some white writers who was trying to write black.
Okay,
One woman named Ruth something or other, she was trying to write like a black woman.
The guy who wrote the Indian book, was he white?
What's his name?
The one who did the Navajo book?
He was one of the editors there, and I can't think of his name, but he wrote a very fine book. I found out that I was making fun of it at first. He was an alcoholic, not a very good editor. He didn't have to edit very much anyway because the Holloway House didn't edit books. They mostly published, if they were going to publish it anyway, they would publish whatever you gave them, which means that you had books that were being distributed that had typos and glitches.
Right.
I can think of a couple of books I have where they reprinted 2 or 3 pages twice. It was that kind of place. In addition to that, they cooked the books so hard they could have opened up a restaurant.
Yes, for the royalties. And then one year, one of the, what is it?
One year, one of the bookkeepers happened to be a Filipino guy, absconded with about $30,000 worth of Holloway House money.
In-house.
That year, in-house information. That year, none of us received any residuals. And I checked around with my friend Joe Nazell, and he was saying, "No, man, they're holding back all the stuff to try to recover the money that they're due too." Anyway, they went out of business. No. They sold their assets to Kensington Press in New York. I think it was 2007, something like that. And I petitioned for a reversal of rights to all of the 17 books I had published there. And in record time, through the Authors Guild, the National Writers Union, and the Screenwriters Guild, I petitioned for reversal of rights and achieved that in record time, less than a year. And consequently, as you very well know, we had an opportunity to reissue these books because of a clause, a stipulation that was put into a statement made by the Writers Guild, the Authors Guild, that if someone had books going out of print through no fault of their own, they would reissue through our universe, which just took me through that avenue. The books were reissued. An enormously talented lady named Salena-Hawkins practically recovered all of the books with her work, photographs, and one of the books, The Snake, was reissued with a wonderful, beautiful snake on it. I wish I had it with me right now. Anyway.
Well, that was through another company.
Another time.
Yeah. But indeed, well, just before we go, as a quick thought, the books behind you, starting with Mrs. Obama, I gather you recommend those books?
Name them.
Okay.
Can you see them? I can't see behind my head anymore. I used to be able to do that.
Yeah. Well, there's Michelle Obama's book.
Okay. Yeah, I would highly recommend that to anybody. It's not great creative writing, but she tells a good story about what she went through in order to become Mrs. Obama.
And the 1619 Project?
1619 should be like I'm tempted to say it should be like a Bible in every American's home. Every American of any race, creed, ethnic, whatever, because the book is telling the truth. It's what these anti-critical race theory people are fighting so hard to squash, because the book tells the absolute truth about, it's not that America was discovered by European colonists, and it's not like the Europeans, the greatest people in the world, who are pristine and have never made the mistake. We have to remember just simply three things. We have to make, they took this land from the Native Americans, they enslaved our ancestors, and they mistreated their own young people. And they made their own European women secondary citizens. People don't realize they had white women in this country who wanted the same strictures and laws that you might find in some what do they call it? Some fundamentalist country. I don't want to say Arab, but you couldn't.
They had no rights.
You couldn't sign a contract because you were somebody's wife.
Okay.
You couldn't go and do what you wanted to do because you had no rights.
Okay.
Remember, white women didn't get the right to vote here until the 1920s.
Gotcha.
So, and as we look at things now, these same white people who went through all the stuff they went through, they're still trying to push down on us. So yeah, 1619. What else do you see before we go?
Bernanke, The Courage to Act. Ben Bernanke.
Bernanke? The book is about economics, and it's so dense and hard for a non-economist to read that I wouldn't recommend it to anybody.
Okay, unless you're an economist.
Unless you're an economist. That was my punchline.
Right.
No, that book is
really dense. Okay, and George Orwell, 1984.
George Orwell's book should be written on at least a monthly basis, especially right now in the Trump-Putin era, because he forecast, he explained it all right there, how freedom was going to be considered slavery, how the truth was going to be a lie.
How Big Brother would be watching.
Big Brother, you know, the same kind of thing that we see going on right now in this country with the Orwellians.
And the rewriting of history.
Rewriting of history. I like the little scene in there where I believe somebody is telling the truth about something. They have a special little hole where they put it down in that down the rabbit hole. The truth is gone.
Yes. Okay.
I mean, anytime, and we can let it go at this, but anytime you have a people like the Native Americans here, or people like us, and they want to try to explain it away, explain whatever happened, they want to explain it away as though it didn't happen.
Yeah.
So you got people being arrested for making an effort to teach American history.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
You know, it's bad enough Americans are not smart enough as it is. We
If
speak
they ain't
one
dumb
language
enough
too.
for us as it is,
Right.
you gonna dumb them down.
Okay, one last one is go back where you came from.
Wajihat Ali is the funniest book I've read in a long time. This is a Pakistani American, and he is able to tell you some of the most awful, terrible, awful things in such a humorous way, you know, that you wonder, you know, where did he get the strength to talk about this in this kind of way? Most people who are serious Muslim will say things like, Inshallah, you know, it will be the will of Allah. He talks about it as a joke. For example, one of the jokes is that he has his eye on this really nice-looking Muslim girl, Pakistani of descent, and he says, you know, I like to go out with you sometimes, and she's used the term, Inshallah, if Allah wills this.
And your father and her mother having a brother.
You know, I mean, you don't get that kind of joke. He's both a comedian in the real sense of the word, where you can take serious events and make them comedic, but at the same time, it's a very, very serious book because he talks about what we're talking about here.
Okay, and it makes you take those events, even though you're smiling and laughing, you take them serious. I'm dying to read it again. I used to put books aside like that for maybe a month. Right now, as you know, I'm wading through Roots, Alexander's masterpiece. I'm wading through it again, and I'm telling you, it's no easier than it was the first time. And I got to say on that note, Itness. All right. Catch you next time, Odie Hawkins.
Yeah.
Okay, website www.odiehawkins.com. Your books can be purchased at Author House, Universe, Google, and Amazon. Okay, so check him out. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you very much.
Even if you don't like it.
Hit the like button.
Yeah.
Ciao.